I'm sure everybody has this experience, which is with the people like friend or your partner in the beginning, you find so fun to be with them and so passionate with them. However, over the time, relationship slowly die down, and the Mr. Right become Mr. Not Right. And we even have the same issue with our parents sometimes. We have a hard time to give them a hug, tell them I love you, or even to spend longer than a dinner. And that's today's topic, why we hurt the loved one more than a stranger. And today we will mainly look at from the couple and relationship partner angle to analyze why we hurt the loved one. And the whole video are inspired by the book Relationship Bridge to the Soul by Christopher Moen. When reading this book, one of the biggest inspiration or mind-blowing moment is when I read that lots of people think a relationship should be meet in the middle, set up the boundaries, and work in the relationship together. However, the author said that maybe are not helping us to make the relationship better. Because since you said we have to meet in the middle, there always will be a competition that you take advantage of me, I take advantage of you, and stuff. And even more, most of the time, people will feel losing hope in the relationship because they feel they try so hard and the other half just doing nothing. However, they never think about, people may work differently in the relationship. This is not, I'm mentioning the book, but this is my personal add-on. And I think this theory or concept is only working in healthier relationship. If it's over the boundary, for example, abusive, toxic relationship, manipulate, maybe leave the better result. Or even you in the healthy relationship, if every day just so miserable and you feel lonely after marriage kind of thing, in the relationship, maybe leave will be the best ending. And let's take a look how we from, in the beginning, the Mr. Right to the end, you guys will even argue about one lyrics you remember differently. One thing you put the wrong places than what you thought, or you could argue about the shower being messy. And in the first step, in the relationship, are what we call more like sugar faces. You find the person, everything's for them so perfect, you just want to spend time with them. Everything seems so fun, maybe just watch TV together seems fun. This phase will only last like 2 months, 3 months, then you will go to the next one called disillusion, which is you find there's something different, that you feel strange about them. That's not what I thought will happen. That's not the same person I love, maybe even. And then you go to the third one, which is the darkest one, we call introspection. And in this part, you have to think about your relationship, think about yourself, and the most argument happen, and this is the most time people go into couple therapy to figure out. And if you're lucky enough and have enough knowledge background, you will go to the final one called inspiration, which is gain the intimate relationship only belong to you. Let's look at the first one, which is sugar faces. How people fall in love with a person, they're so perfect and fall off. Why we think they're so perfect in the beginning? What tricked us? If we have to figure out why we think the Mr. Right are so right, we need to understand one thing is why we get into the relationship. Of course, there's a love and stuff, but most important aspect for us or for human to find a spouse or couple is to compensate the thing we lack of in the childhood or our psychological need that we try to compensate. When a kid grow up in the childhood, 2 things are really important for the kids. One thing is a sense of belonging. I belong to the family and I'm a family member. Second thing is a sense of value. My mom cherished me and listened to me talking what happened in the school. But if we lack of one of them or several of them, we will go chase this kind of feeling our whole life. And to develop to the thing that we call every day insecurity. I'm insecure, you're insecure. And this insecure, we should compensate within marriage life. But when you try to compensate. One really interesting thing happened is if you want to attract one specific type of person, you will pretend you have that character too. For example, you want to looking for somebody really confident, and you will think a confident person is still like another confident person, so I have to be confident, even I'm not. And when you become super confident, you attract the confident person, you find the Mr. Right, they probably try to compensate the fact that they're not confident either, so they pretend they're confident. That's usually why after 3 months, 2 months, they stop pretending and to show the real them. And the fact that they cannot give you the feeling you're looking for, they cannot compensate your insecurity. That's when the time argue start, and you will have a loss of expectation, and that's the relationship that we heard a lot, that if you love me you will do this, you should do that. And this kind of express expectation and not even expressly, and maybe you even hinting them in the expectation, you will go try to change them. And the way you change them will go to the second stage, which is disillusion. What's disillusion even mean? Which is a story that made up, and you suddenly feel, it's not real. It's like a Santa Claus. You grow up believing in Santa Claus, but one day you suddenly notice, the Santa Claus looked like my dad. That it didn't look real. And that kind of upset is what you feel after the sugar physics. The way you talk to me, I feel really strange. The way you act, I don't really like it, and I know it's not the same person I fall in love with. But the disillusion are not a punish. However, it's a gift. It's a gift for us. Don't confuse with the makeup story and the illusion, and make us understand what's the reality, and we can go for the real way and understand the world better. In disillusion, that's when the most argument started. And there's a 4 behavioral bias. What happened? What's behavioral bias? Which is irrational decision and behavior. So first one, you will grab attention. You get mad at them, you yelling at them, you blame them, you try to, look at me, you're making trouble, or I'm sick. Second part is called revenge. That happened quite a lot if you really think about it. It don't have to be, you cheat on me, so I'm gonna cheat on you, that kind of level thing. But it's more like, why don't you clean up? You don't even do that, why I need to do this, right? They have this defenses mechanism. The third one is called power struggle. Who are right? I remember my friend with, his girlfriend argue over lyrics from, the movies. And even more scary part is the fourth one, which is giving up. And I see lots of older adults, they get into these stages, they don't sleep together, they rarely talk to each other, or even your parents will say, your mom's like that, I cannot change it. Your dad's like that, he been there his whole life, I don't want to change it. And that's where most relationships stop, and it's really sad. And for us to prevent we going to, giving up on each other and just, from marriage life to roommates, we should start from the step 1, which is argue. Why in relationship we argue so much? Or even you see your parents or all different couples argue. Why we're arguing so much? The reason why we argue so much is the behavior or the feeling you gave me triggered one of the trauma of my childhood. Like when the kids grow up, you will see one interesting thing in the kids, which is after parents yelling at them, they just forget about it really fast. So they go play, and they really go play, and they have a lot of fun. And remember when I was young, my parents told me, I don't want you no more, go to park by yourself. And I really just go, I just don't care and walk. People say, look at that kid. That kid's, don't understand the rules, and that kid is really rude and mean, this and that. And However, that's not the kid don't listen. However, it's the hurt they receive. They just don't know how to deal with it. And the way they deal with the hurt and heal the hurt is by pressing the hurt into the subconscious and forget about it. That's all they can do because they're so young and they're so gentle. However, why this trauma will pumped out after marriage life is because I was young, I cannot defend myself, but now I have the power. I gonna talk to you. This is not right. You cannot tell me this, or even more. Sometimes it's more like you project yourself into something. For example, the kitchen are dirty, and when I was young, my mom always yelled at me about the kitchen. Now when I see other people mess up the kitchen, I will be like, look, now it's not my fault, and I'm gonna yell at you to prove this is not my fault. And this is the most argument started. We can see lots of people want to divorce or break up over kitchen are messy. That's the reason why. Because this is nobody want to, under the heartbreak every single day. That don't feel good. And to pull out all the old trauma, open a book of hurts and go through it every day. This, I believe nobody will go through it. We rather to argue to be mad at spouse or to be to the couple than just open-hearted and to figure out what's going on and how can we fix it. But why we getting mad at each other though? What's the benefit of getting mad? There's a three main benefit. First of all, when you mad, you feel numb. You will forget about the hurts. You will just focus on what's going on right now. Second, getting mad is more like a manipulate method of human. I give him pressure. Maybe he will change right. Maybe he will clean the kitchen and don't trigger my hurt no more. And third part is when you're mad, you feel powerful. I'm right. Even I know it hurts me and I'm right. And I'm not gonna let you hurt me no more. And however, but it is really love though, because if we really think about it, we are sacrifice our spouse and the couple to, let myself not hurt. And you are protecting yourself by sacrifice you guys' relationship and the loved one. And this is the most important concept in the whole video or the whole book, is we try to compensate hurting other people to protect yourself. That's the reason why all the relationship fall into heavy argument and this and that. If you really love a person, this love should be unconditionally. This love should not be like we see in the beginning. You expect two people meet in the middle and understand all the things. And we finally can go to a real example, which is the book introduced. It's a story about John and Mary. John and Mary, what's happened specifically, they come in to the couple therapy. The reason why they come in is because Mary messed up the shower. And that sounds kind of funny, but let me break down to how it happened. And every time Mary after showers, she will, the toothbrush at different places, the clothes is on the floor, the towels everywhere. Every time John, in the beginning, is not mad at her. Say, oh, baby, you need to clean up. You have to hang the towel. And in the beginning, he even joked, oh, look, you little piggy, you didn't put everything back. But for the long time overall, after years and years, maybe when they get married one day, John said, oh, you need to clean up. This bathroom are too messy, I cannot even step in. Mary's like, oh, come on, you can, I'm doing something right now, I cannot clean up right now. John said, no, you have to come here to clean, because I've been telling you, you never change it. Oh, come on, baby, I just, 5-minute thing, why can't you do it for me? Because I've been doing this for you, this and that. And this is a little thing of messed up shower, developed to, oh, the way you talk to me are so strange. You're not like you no more. And to the end, you know what? If it's not working, we make it divorce. I don't care. But lucky enough, they find the author, Christopher Moon, to talk about the issue. And overall, what's going on with John and Mary? After the therapy session after therapy session, they figure out on the John, he living a multi-sibling house. They have a lots of siblings, you know. When I share lots of people out there who have the same feeling is when on the dinner table there's so many kids, when a small one speak, the older sibling always can cut them off. And because they have a lot of siblings and mom cannot just focus on one specific kid, John have another like 6 siblings. So he don't have the sense of value. He don't feel a sense of belonging too, because every time whatever he said, nobody cherished what he said. And when Mary messed up the shower again and over again, and John tell him, oh, you should be careful, you should clean it up, after years and years to tell Mary, and he feel the word is not powerful. He feels the same trauma he has, which is when he speaks something, it doesn't important. Everybody can cut him off. He don't feel valuable. And this triggered John's insecurity. That's the reason why he was so mad. And he chose to argue with Mary to defend himself. And you think, oh, this is all John's fault, but on the Mary side, Mary have her own fault too. When Mary grew up is in, a nice family, to give them a lot of attention, buy lots of toys. But Mary's dad are very, very strict. I sure lots of family have this rule, which is, oh, you put your toy, not correct places, I will warn you once. Next time, if you still, put it in random places, I will throw it away. And that's Mary's dad. And Mary, until now, 34, 35, still remember, his dad threw away one of his favorite toy. And he suddenly understand his dad don't, the love for the cleaning are better than the love for her. He rather to throw out daughter's favorite toy than have the place clean. I cherish the place clean more than my daughter's favorite. So when Mary to find a man, or a woman in this situation, he more expect this spouse can understand them, don't treat them more strictly, or even more to test them. And I'm sure Mary and not test them strictly. It just subconsciously they try to behave the opposite way, just in case what if this happens, so she can back down. And how can we argue? If argue about the situation back and forth, there will never be a result. Sometimes argue could be the bridge to make a relationship going a higher level, to going a more close relationship. And maybe when John say, oh baby, when you should clean the shower, Mary say, oh please, I'm doing something, I cannot do it. Say, oh, I'm really mad right now, but the way I'm mad at you is not because the shower are messy. It's just because, when I grew up in a multi-sibling and I never feel I gain attention, nobody listen to me, and it just make me really hurt, and I'm sorry. Maybe, or Mary will say, oh, I'm really sorry, I messed up the shower, and I don't like you criticize on me to clean that shower because I grew up in really, really strict family. I don't feel love from my dad. I feel my dad loved the place more clean than me. And when you blame on me that I messed up, made me remember the hurt. And maybe we can work on this together. And after this kind of conversation, we build the relationship to our upper level. And I think the video is dragging too long. And if you guys are interested, I can talk even more about the book and more trap we'll have to watch out. Comment down below about your own experience. Did you find your couple, your spouse, have one thing you can just not touch? And maybe you guess that's not their trauma. Or even yourself. Some topic you can just not touch. You cannot just mention. If you mention, you'll feel blood spoiling. And comment down below. And thank you very much for watching my video, and I hope you have a great day and great relationship.